This is Roger Latham talking to you about calling wild turkeys. Anybody can learn to call this grand game bird with a little knowledge and a little practice. Sure, you may not be able to talk to that wise old gobbler or hen right away, but you will be able to bring in young birds of the year, and that's good enough to start. Let's concentrate on the basic call, which you will use more than any other. This is the yelp. Whether you use the box caller, the yelper, or the diaphragm caller, the note and the rhythm is the same. Listen first how it's done on the box collar. Note that this was a fairly long and loud series. This is what you would use if you were trying to make a bird hear that might be several hundred yards away. Now suppose you have heard a bird much closer, perhaps only 75 or 100 yards. It's better if you make a few less notes and call more softly like this. Did you notice that the harsh yelps were preceded by a single whining note? This is the way most turkeys start their yelps. The whine is good all by itself too, especially if your bird is real close. Do it like this. Now let's see what the yelps sound like on the other two types of collars. Here's old Tom Turpin doing it on the yelper. And here's the same notes on the diaphragm collar. We might right here see how it sounds in real life. You make several yelps like this. And then down below, a turkey answers. Now all you have to do is keep coaxing it closer and closer until it's within range. Easy, isn't it? The tyro hunter always wonders whether he is calling too much or too little. Generally speaking, it's better to call a little too much instead of too little. As long as you don't make sour notes, calling at frequent intervals will not frighten the bird away. In fact, if you call too little, the bird may lose interest and just walk off in the opposite direction. Keep in mind that some turkeys may come in without answering. Don't forget, many times you're competing with other turkeys which you can't hear, but the bird you're calling can. One other possible call you might use is the key run of the very young turkey. This is more of a whistle than a yelp, but has the same rhythm. Here it is on the diaphragm collar. This is a call you can't make on the box collar. Now this is about all you need to know to go out and call in a turkey. Remember, however, that you must hide. A turkey has unbelievably keen eyesight and can pick a man out very quickly, particularly if he moves at all. You should screen your face with some leaves or brush, or even wear a camouflage head net. If the ground is dry, you can lie behind a log or kneel behind a stump. Just one note of precaution. Better leave your back exposed for fear some meat-hungry hunter doesn't sneak up behind you and bang away at the sounds you're making. We might take a moment now to get you started with the collars. The diaphragm is most difficult to master, at least at first, so let's start with it. Put the collar in your mouth with the open end toward your lips and push it back with your tongue until it is in the very back of your mouth. Now raise your tongue until you have a little pressure against the collar and huff lightly from deep in the stomach. Chances are your first notes, when they come, will be too high. To correct this, just drop the tongue a little and open the throat, and the sound will deepen and become more bell-like. The double note, so necessary for a good reproduction of the turkey's voice, is created by moving the tongue up and down as you activate the diaphragm with your breath. Here's the double note. The box collar is fairly easy for the beginner. Grasp the box in your left hand, if you're right-handed, and the end of the paddle in your right hand. Swing the lid to the right until about 1/3 of the right lip is exposed. Tip the lid toward the box as far as it will go, and sweep the lid in long, steady strokes toward the box. Don't press hard, just let the lid ride rather gently over the sounding edge. The yelp can be slow and deliberate, or it can be short and more excited. Here's an example of each. The yelp is made on the yelper by sucking on the mouthpiece, just like you were kissing into it. By opening the throat and making the mouth more hollow, the yelp will be deep and mellow. There you have it, and you're ready for the young turkey. If you want to find out how to fool the old wise bird and expand your repertoire of calls, you may want to work with our expert's record of turkey calling. To help you do exactly as the wild turkeys do when you're calling, here is some real turkey talk recorded in the wild. Study the different notes and calls carefully and see how closely you can imitate them. Even the little puts, clucks, and purrs can be used to good advantage.